I'm making this video as a a reminder that the grass isn't always greener on the other side, and literally didn't really know what exactly I was going to say coming out of this video. I just pressed record and here we are. And I have had some very interesting lessons over the past week, especially. And it seems like whenever I come onto a video, I'm always like, oh my gosh, the last couple weeks of my life have been very interesting. The last couple weeks of my journey have been very interesting. And it seems like I've been saying that more and more and more, but it's like, I feel like the waves of energy that are coming in, we have been inundated with so much energy that it's like, it's not so much that the epiphanies that I had 2 weeks ago don't mean anything anymore, but I can really see why they have gone into my subconscious and why it takes dreams for them to come up, or why some other catalyst has to come up. But what's interesting too is that I'm making this video before all of my before all my December horoscopes for the 12 signs, and more than likely this video will come last because I want to make an intro for my videos, a new intro. But the grass isn't always greener. It's not always greener. And sometimes we like to think that the grass is going to be greener on the other side, and we've all done that, right? Where we thought that the grass was going to be greener, and we went for something that we thought was going to be better than our current situation, our current circumstance. And then we get there and we realize, oh shit. To put it bluntly, maybe I was mistaken. But that's okay, because a lot of times we get trolled by the universe. We get trolled by God, Goddess, Spirit, Source connection. Of going into an area, a situation, or an experience that we think is going to benefit us more, when really it doesn't really resonate. And that's what I've experienced here, just within the past 24 to 48 hours. And just how I realized that where I was right now was actually setting me up for my greatest fortune to come in this lifetime. For this great infinite abundance that I keep talking about and keep preaching about. This, you can do whatever you want. You are an infinite being. And it's like, I felt like I had to and it's not that there wasn't, that there was it's not so much that a change didn't need to be made, because there certainly wasn't change that needed to be made, but I think it was a lot more subtle than what I had anticipated. It's a lot more subtle. Now I'm realizing that where I am right now, I am set up in a very great position, especially compared. I don't mean to draw comparisons, but looking at where I was a year from now, from this moment a year ago, to where I am right now, I've come so far. I've come so fucking far. Excuse my language. But I have. And so have you. So have you. But damn it, I've come far. And I felt the need to change something about my experience right now at a rather extreme level, because I felt that that's what I needed to do, instead of listening to my own inner guidance. And that happens. And it's going to happen. And I'm not saying that it will never happen to me again, because it absolutely will. Otherwise, I won't evolve and grow. But the grass isn't always greener. I'm not saying that the grass wasn't green, but it's not necessarily greener. Of course, I'm keeping you guys in the dark about what it is, and I'm going to be purposefully vague on this, mainly because I know that even where I am right now is not where I'm supposed to be. My current situation is not my final destination. And the same can be said for you. Regardless of whatever it is that you're going through right now, your current situation is not your final destination. Beautiful brothers and sisters, right? There's a spider right here. A tiny little spider is hanging from my light. I'm not going to bother him. He's chill. The grass isn't always greener. So what do? You appreciate, and really it gives you a deeper sense of gratitude for where you are right now. And that's what I needed right now, especially over this past week. Coming off this Thanksgiving holiday where we're supposed to give thanks. Gratitude is so important to my life. And I believe it is an incredibly important vibration for everybody to experience every day, multiple times a day, all day if possible. But then again, sometimes we need to get down to the dumps. Sometimes we need to deplore. Sometimes we need to despair. Sometimes we need to depress. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we need to frustrate. Sometimes we need to anger and upset. Sometimes we need to cry. Sometimes we need to fool ourselves into thinking that we're going into a better situation. But when really our current situation, even though it's not our final destination, has been such a great fortune in disguise that we didn't even realize what we had. That's kind of what I've realized here over these past 24 to 48 hours. So, just wanted to share that with you all. And just know that there are times where the grass will be greener. But there are also many, many times where the grass isn't necessarily greener. It's just an altering of your perception, right? Sometimes the grass is blue, sometimes it's red, sometimes it's yellow and orange. It doesn't have to be just green. But it's like, for me, what it felt like, I almost went from, I'm not going to say emerald, but I went from like this deep green to almost sort of like a limeish green. And I don't know, it just didn't really resonate with me. But it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Yeah.